Dead Bart. Dead Bart is the supposed lost episode of The Simpsons, known as 7G06. You know how Fox has a weird way of counting Simpsons episodes? They refuse to count a couple of them, making the amount of episodes inconsistent. The reason for this is a lost episode from season 1. Finding details about this missing episode is difficult. No one who was working on the show at the time likes to talk about it. From what has been pieced together, the last episode was written entirely by Matt Groening. During the production of the first season, Matt started acting strangely. He was very quiet, seemed nervous and morbid. Questioning this to anyone who was present results in them getting very angry and forbidding you to ever mention it to Matt. I first heard of it in an event where David Silverman was speaking. Someone in the crowd asked about the episode, and Silverman simply left the stage, ending the presentation hours early. The episode's production number was 7G06. The title was Dead Bart. The episode, labeled 7G06 Moaning Lisa, was made later and given Dead Bart's production code to hide the latter existence. In addition to getting angry, asking anyone who was on the show about this will cause them to do everything they can to stop you from directly communicating with Matt Groening. At a fan event, I managed to follow him after he spoke to the crowd, and eventually had a chance to talk to him alone as he was leaving the building. He didn't seem upset that I had followed him, probably expecting a typical encounter with an obsessive fan. When I mentioned the last episode though, all colors drained from his face and he started trembling. When I asked him if he could tell me any details, he sounded like he was on the verge of tears. He grabbed a piece of paper, wrote something on it, and handed it to me. He begged me to never mention the episode again. The piece of paper had a website address on it. I would rather not say what it was. I entered the address into my browser and I came to a site that was completely black, except for a line of yellow text, a download link. I clicked on it and a file started downloading. Once the file was downloaded, my computer went crazy. It was the worst virus I had ever seen. System restore did not work. The entire computer had to be rebooted. Before doing this though, I copied the file onto a CD. I tried to open it on my now empty computer, and as I suspected, there was an episode of The Simpsons on it. The episode started off like any other episode, but had a very poor quality animation. If you've seen the original animation for Some Enchanted Evening, it was similar, but less stable. The first act was fairly normal, but the way the characters acted was a little off. Homer seemed angrier, Marge seemed depressed, Lisa seemed anxious, and Bart seemed to have a genuine anger and hatred for his parents. The episode was about the Simpsons going on a plane trip. Near the end of the first act, the plane was taking off. Bart was fooling around as you'd expect. However, as the plane was about 50 feet off the ground, Bart broke a window of the plane and was sucked out. At the beginning of the series, Matt had an idea that the animation style of The Simpsons world represented life, and that turned things more realistic. This was used in this episode. The picture of Bart's corpse was fairly recognizable. They took full advantage of it not having to move, and made an almost photorealistic drawing of his dead body. Act 1 ended with a shot of Bart's corpse. When Act 2 started, Homer, Marge, and Lisa were sitting at the table, crying. The crying went on and on. It got more pained, and sounded more realistic. Better acting than you would think possible. The animation started to decay even more as they cried, and you could hear murmuring in the background. The characters could barely be made out. They were stretching and blurring. They looked like deformed shadows with random bright colors thrown on them. There were faces looking in the window, flashing in and out, so we were never sure what they looked like. The crying went on for all of Act 2. Act 3 opened with the title card saying, "1 year had passed." Homer, Marge, and Lisa were skeletally thin and still sitting at the table. There was no sign of Maggie or the pets. They decided to visit Bart's grave. Springfield was completely deserted, and as they walked to the cemetery, the houses became more and more decrepit. They all looked abandoned. When they got to the grave, Bart's body was just laying in front of its tombstone, looking just like it did at the end of Act 1. The family started crying again. Eventually they stopped and just stared at Bart's body. The camera zoomed in on Homer's face. According to summaries, Homer tells a joke at this part, but it wasn't audible in the version I saw. You can't tell what Homer's saying. The view zoomed out as the episode came to a close. The tombstones in the background had the names of every Simpson guest stars on them. Some that no one had heard in 1989. Some that haven't been on the show yet. All of them had that dates on them. For guests who died since, like Michael Jackson and George Harrison, the dates were when they would die. The credits were completely silent and seemed handwritten. The final image was the Simpsons family on the couch, like in the intro, but all drawn in hyper-realistic lifeless style of Bart's corpse. A thought occurred to me after seeing the episode for the first time. You could try to use the tombstone to predict the death of living Simpsons guest stars, but there's something odd about most of the ones who haven't died. All of their deaths are listed at the same date. SuicideMouse.avi. SuicideMouse.avi is the lost episode creepypasta made using the Walt Disney Mickey Mouse character. The story is based off of an old unseen Mickey Mouse episode. There is also 3 videos usually linked to the creepypasta, 1 original and 2 remakes of said original video SuicideMouse.avi. So, do any of you remember those Mickey Mouse cartoons from the 30s? The ones that were just put on DVD a few years ago? Well, I heard there is one that was unreleased to even the most avid classic Disney fans. According to sources, it's nothing special. It's just a continuous loop, like Flintstones, of Mickey walking past 6 buildings that goes on for 2 or 3 minutes before fading out. Unlike the cutesy tunes put in though, the song on this cartoon was not a song at all. Just a constant banging on a piano for a minute and a half before going to white noise for the remainder of the film. It wasn't even the jolly old Mickey we've come to love either. Mickey wasn't dancing, not even smiling. Mickey just kind of walking as if you or I were walking, with a normal facial expression. But for some reason, his head tilted side to side as he kept this dismal look. Up until a year or 2 ago, everyone believed that it cut to black, and that was it. When Leonard Maltin was reviewing the cartoon to be put in the complete series, he decided it was too junk to be on the DVD, but wanted to have a digital copy due to the fact that it was a creation of Walt. When he had a digitized version up on his computer to look at the file, he noticed something. The cartoon was actually 9 minutes and 4 seconds long. This is what my source emailed to me, in full. He is the personal assistant of one of the higher executives at Disney, an acquaintance of Mr. Mousing himself. After it cut to black, it stayed like that until the 6th minute, before going into Mickey walking. The sound was different this time. It was a murmur. It wasn't a language, but more like a gurgle cry. As the noise got more indistinguishable and loud over the next minute, the picture began to get weird. The sidewalk started to go in directions that seemed impossible based on the physics of Mickey walking. And the dismal face of the mouse was slowly curling into the smirk. On the 7th minute, the murmur turned into a blood-curdling scream, the kind of scream painful to hear. The picture was getting more obscure. Colors were happening that shouldn't have been possible at the time. Mickey's face began to fall apart. His eyes rolled on the bottom of his chin like two marbles in a fishbowl, and his curled smile was pointing upwards on the left side of his face. The buildings became rubble floatings in mid-air, and the sidewalk was still impossibly navigating in warped directions. A few seem inconceivable with what we, as humans, know about directions. Mr. Martin got disturbed and left the room, sending an employee to finish the video and take notes of everything happening up until the last second, and afterwards immediately stored the disc of the cartoon into the vault. This distorted screaming lasted until 8 minutes and a few seconds in, and then it abruptly cut to Mickey Mouse face at the credits of the end of every video with what sounded like a broken music box playing in the background. This happened for about 30 seconds, and whatever was in the remaining 30 seconds I haven't been able to get a silver of information about. From a security guard working under me who was making rounds outside of the room, I was told that after the last frame, the employee stumbled out of the room with pale skin saying, "Real suffering is not known," 7 times before speedily taking the guard's pistol and offing himself on the spot. The thing I could get out of Leonard's mouthing was that the last frame was a piece of Russian text that Rolly said, "The sides of hell bring its viewers back in." As far as I know, no one else had seen it, but there have been dozens of attempts at getting the file on RapidShare by employees inside the studios, all of whom have been promptly terminated of their jobs. Whether it got online or not is up for debate. But if rumor serves me right, it's online somewhere under suicidemouse.avi. If you ever find a copy of the film, I want you to never view it, and to contact me by phone immediately, regardless of the time. When a Disney death is covered up as well as this, it means this has to be something huge. Get back at me, TR. I've yet to find a copy of this, but it is out there, I know it.